workers, local community, and the health, etc. So thus we can say that here internalizing or managing the externalities is an important feature. So other than this, what is the next one here? So the next one is nothing but here the stakeholder orientation, multiple stakeholder orientation. So what does it mean here? So that CSR takes into account various stakeholders, including the employees. Stakeholders means employees, shareholders, suppliers, customers, local communities, and all the consumers that can have both positive or negative impact on business and the environment. So that is very important feature here. The next one is social and economic alignment. So what the responsibilities? That means, here, what does it mean here? This balancing of different stakeholder interests leads to the important characteristic. So the CSR, so that means what does it mean here? CSR may be about going beyond a narrow focus on shareholders and profitability. So that is why this fourth characteristic is regarded as an important characteristic that can be related to the self-interest. It is generally about how a company or corporation can financially benefit themselves by being ethically and socially responsible. That is the meaning of this. The next one is here, practices and values. So what does it mean here? Practices and values in CSR are mainly about the practices and values of business that help them to to solve the social issues, which can be related to the term values of the business as well. So these practices and values are the strategies that every business should follow compulsory to deal with the corporate, social, and environmental issues. So beyond that, here, if you see the philanthropy. So what does it mean here? That means here it gives an understanding about the real earnings of the philanthropy in the CSR practices. So thus, these are the features of this CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. So now we are going to deal the scope of corporate social responsibility. So here, first one, you see the environment. So what does this scope mean? What is the scope of this corporate social responsibility? What does it include? It involves or includes, the first one is, the first area is environment. So this environment involves the environmental aspects of the production or covering the pollution control in the conduct of business operations, prevention or repair of the damage to the environment resulting from processing of natural resources and the conservation of natural resources. So environmental protection is regarded as an important one. Next one, labor security. So what do you mean by this here? Labor means it includes the employees of the organization. So it includes the freedom of association and the effective recognition of all the employees in the right manner to the collective bargaining. So the elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. At the same time, all the employees are to be treated fairly and ethically. That is the meaning here. So again, I repeat, labor security means here all the employees in the organization should be treated fairly and ethically. So at the same time, remember that companies can also demonstrate their corporate social responsibility also in this regard. The next one is human rights. 1 minute. The next one is human rights. So what does it mean here? What do the human rights have to do with the CSR? CSR has become a strategy for increasing the profit. Remember that. CSR can also manage some human rights issues, but does not explicitly present them as such. So thus, human rights issues are managed more implicitly. The next one is nothing but the community involvement or development. So what does it include? This area involves the community activities or health related activities or the education and the arts and other community activity disclosures. And finally, the marketplace. So marketplace is the place where you can find here the goods are being available at the, in shortcut, the place where the regular supply of goods are available at the right price, at the right prices. So that means here, the provision of the goods or products to be available at the right quantity, at the right quality here as per the demand of the consumer. A large variety of products should be provided to the consumers. That is very important. So the goods must meet the needs of the consumers of different classes or the taste or the purchasing power, etc. So that is very important. A part of this here, we can say there are some areas, some responsibilities also, that is the responsibilities of business towards the suppliers or towards the employees also, or finally towards the environment also. That is very, very important. So now here, what is the responsibility of the CSR? Now let us discuss. So that is called as the areas or the components of CSR. That means, what does it mean here? What is the meaning of this here? That means, what is the responsibility of the CSR towards the different things, towards the different areas, towards the different, that is in shortcut, it is called as components. So CSR is responsible towards the customers, or firstly to customers or suppliers or the partners, means owners, communities or the employees or the environment. Firstly, if you see, the CSR is responsible towards the owners. So who are the owners? Owners are the persons who own the business. They contribute the capital and bear all types of business risks. So the primary responsibilities of the business towards its owners means it includes either proper utilization of capital and other resources, or growth and appreciation of capital, or the regular and fair return on capital invested, or whatever it is. The next one is the responsibility towards the customers is very, very important. So no business can survive without the support of the customers. Remember that. As part of the responsibility of business towards them, the business should provide some facilities. What facilities the business can provide? The products or services must be of quality, or they must be regular in supply of goods and services, like that. So thus this responsibility towards the customers plays an important part here. The next one is the responsibility towards the suppliers. So suppliers, who are the suppliers? Suppliers are nothing but they are the businessmen who supply the raw materials and other items regularly by supplied by the or required by the manufacturers or the traders. So this the responsibility of business towards the suppliers may be the dealing on fair terms and conditions or timely payment of dues, etc. So thus responsibility towards the suppliers and partners plays an important part here. And next one is the communities here. So before that, just let us see, this is important, responsibility towards the employees. So business needs employees or the workers to work for it. These employees put their effort for the benefit of the business. So that means here, what does it means here? So it is the prime responsibility of every business to take care of the interest of their employees. That means if the employees are satisfied and efficient, then only the business can be successful. So remember that the employees have to, the prime responsibility of every business is nothing but to take care of the interest of their employees. So thus we can say that here employees are regarded as the important part here. So next one is protection of environment and the communities. So the people, outside the people, the environment we have to protect, and the communities also we have to protect. So these are called as the components or the areas of corporate social responsibility. So thus I can conclude this topic, that is corporate social responsibility as CSR, that by these two quotations, that is, success people have a social responsibility to make the world a better place and not just from it. So these are the two quotations, and down you can find one more quotation also, just you can go through it. Okay, so this is the topic CSR, that is very important. So this is the, with this we completed the block number 1. Coming to the block number 2. Again, you could find the 2 or 3 topics there. So here you could find in the block number 3, the first topic is forms of business organization. So now let us discuss what are the different forms of business organization. So here, before dealing these forms of business organization, what does this mean here? So forms of business organization means here, already here it is defined as it is defined as an entity which is structured for the purpose of carrying on the commercial. Is defined as an entity which is structured for the purpose of carrying on commercial system of enterprise. So what does it mean here? So that means here the business organization is governed under principles and laws governing the contract and exchange of goods and services. So that is the meaning of the word business organization. So what does it include? So it includes all these forms of business organization. So what does it include here? See here, I have mentioned so many forms. So already I think you have different ambitions. Some wants to, for example, some wants to become some software person. Some wants to start some business. If you want to start a business, first of all, you have to know what are the different forms. Okay, the first form is sole proprietorship. So second one is joint Hindu family business, partnership firm, cooperative society, joint stock company. Other than that, you could find here the LLP also recently introduced being. Okay, so now here of all this here, remember that here these types of business forms of organization is very important one. Okay, so first one, what is the first one? Sole proprietorship. Sole means single. That is why this form of business organization is the traditional form of business organization used in our country since time immemorial. So the name itself indicates sole. Sole means single. So this form of organization is also called as single proprietorship or the sole proprietary concern also. So what do you mean by this here? A person desirous of starting a business, mostly with his own funds, can start it without performing any legal formalities. That is the meaning of this. So sole proprietorship business is nothing but it is owned, controlled, managed by a single individual who bears all types of risks and takes all the profits or enjoy all the benefits of the fruits of the business. So this business exists as far as the owner is there and there is dissolved on his death or disappearance from the scene. Nowadays, if you want to start the business alone, mostly this form of organization is most suitable, where the owner and the business are the same here. And the business liability may go even to his personal assets also. That is the main limitation here. So in simple words, we can say that sole proprietorship is the simple form of organization which is suitable where the market is local. At the same time, personal contact with the customer is required and the size of business is very small and the business is of a speculative nature. So these are the advantages of the sole proprietor. That means here in the left side and the right side, you could find the complete control over the business, less form in formation of entity, benefit of confidentiality of business, minimal reporting requirement, common form of organization, no distinction between, No distinction between the owner and the business. Owners keeps all profit, pay only personal tax, and complete control over all types of decisions. And apart of this, here you could find some disadvantages also. Here, whatever the bold I kept, they are very, very important. And mainly there are some disadvantages. Of all the disadvantages, remember that the bold one is very important. Existence of unlimited liability, lack of financial controls, lack of technological advancement. A part of that, the main disadvantage is that one person cannot control all types of business. That is the main, that means cannot control means cannot manage and control all types of business. That means here, for example, if you see here, when the business or when the sole proprietor business expands in size, if they want to expand in size, then the sole proprietor finds it very difficult to manage the business and is forced to take more outsiders who will not only provide the additional capital, but also assist him in managing the business on sound lines. So sometimes it happens that here, the nature of the business demands large amount of capital or effective supervision and great specialization in the ideal form of organization for the enterprise, requiring moderate amount of capital and diversified managing talent. So then obviously the next or the second form of business organization came into existence, that is called as partnership form of organization. Now let us discuss the second form of business organization, where you can overcome the limitations of sole proprietorship, that is limited capital. Limited capital or sole proprietorship is the main limitation, where one person cannot control all or manage the whole business. Because of these two limitations, the second form of business organization came into existence. So what do you mean by this here? So the meaning here is that the partnership form of organization is an association of two or more persons to carry on as co-owners and to share its profits and losses. The partnership may come into existence. So what does it mean here? That means when two or more persons carry on the business, and those two persons may be regarded as the co-owners of the business. And how do they come forward? These persons will share the profits and losses according to their agreement. They come into the existence either as a result of expansion of the sole trading concern or by means of an agreement between the two or more persons desirous of forming a partnership. So if you want to know the elaborate or the broad meaning of the partnership, for that obviously we need to discuss the characteristic features. So what are the characteristic features? The first one is association of two or more persons or individuals. So what does it mean here? In partnership, there must be at least two persons. Partners, remember that partnership is the outcome of a contract. As the two or more persons come together and form into one contract. So the minors cannot form the partnership, but with the consent of other persons, they can enter into the contract. At the same time, remember that here minimum is two or more persons. Two persons is the minimum to form into this partnership business. But recently here, the Companies Act has been revised that here the maximum numbers of partners should be the 100. So the first characteristic feature is nothing but here, that is the more than two individuals should form into partnership. Secondly, contract. Contract means contractual relation. The persons joining the partnership should enter into a contract for running the business. That means here, according to Partnership Act 1932, the relation of the partnership arises from the contract and not from the status. Next, third one is trade. Trade means here business. So remember that means existence of the trade or business. Partnership can only be for some kind of trade or business. The term for example, if you take business, the term business, it includes everything, trade, profession, occupation, everything. So we mean that here all the activities concerning the production or the distribution and rendering of services for the purpose of earning profit. If the work is related to social service, we do not call it as a business, and hence there is no partnership at all. Other than that, what are the different characteristics? Collective organization, profit allocation, and partner accountability. So the allocation of the profit or the accountability, everything will be predefined in the partnership agreement, or it is also called as partnership deed. A part of all these characteristics, the important characteristics is left, that is unlimited liability. That is very, very important. As in the case of the sole trading concern, the liability of the partners of the firm is unlimited. That means they're responsible. The responsibility is more. In case of some obligation arises, and then not only the partnership assets, but also the private property of the partners can be taken for the payment of the liabilities of the firm to the third parties. So this is very, very important characteristic here. Next one is here, a part of this, remember that restriction, important characteristic feature is restriction on transfer of the shares. So this is very important characteristic, remember that. So that means here no partner can sell or transfer his share to others without the consent of other partners. So this is very important feature, and this is also regarded as an important limitation also. That means no partner is supposed to transfer his share to others. This is a main limitation of the partnership also. So thus we can say that here the partnership can continue with continuity of the partnership, and this partnership gives only up to the time of the partners want to go. If there are any misunderstandings among the partners, finally, or the death of the insolvency of the partner, finally the partnership will be dissolved. So now how this partnership can be continued? So it consists of different partners, already we discussed. So who are these partners here? So these partners are of different kinds. So of course, there are some advantages and disadvantages. Just you can go through it. Now coming to the next, that is just to go through this important concept, that is types of partners. So how these partners are? There are different types of partners. There are many types of partners, but of all those types of partners, these are the important types of partners that you could find in every organization. So what are these types of partners? So let us see the first, the active. Let us be active. From active onwards, we'll start. So we are active. Suppose, for example, now also you could find the people, some are active, some are non-active. But at the time of exam, they will show it. But here, every day they'll attend. Some persons will be active in their daily routine. They're active in attending classes. They're active in the handling of the business, or they're active in all their daily activities. So here also you could find the first important, the first kind of partner is active partner. So who is this active partner? An active partner is one who takes active part in the day-to-day working of the business. So that means how you are very active in the day-to-day working of your daily life. In the same way here also, this partner is one who takes active part in the day-to-day working of the business. He may act in different capacities, like the manager, he may be, organizer, he may be, or the advisor or the controller of the affairs of the firm. So that is why sometimes we call this partner as the working partner also. Second one, opposite to active partner is sleeping partner. So that means dormant partner. He's also called as dormant partner. So what is this dormant partner or the sleeping partner? So he is the one who contributes capital, shares profits and that means here shares the profits and contributes to the losses of the business, but does not take part in the working of the concern. That is the sleeping partner. The third one is nominal partner. A nominal partner is one who lends his name to the firm. So that means he does not contribute any capital. At the same time, he does not contribute any capital, nor does he shares the profits of the business. So that person is called as the nominal partner. So nominal partner is the one who lends his name. The name itself indicates he is the one who lends his own name here, but does not contribute the capital. So the next one is called as a secret partner. Who is he? The secret partner is nothing but here the position of the secret partner lies between the active and the sleeping partner. So in between this, you see the first and two. In between the first and two, you could find the secret partner. That means his membership of the firm is kept a secret from outsiders, where his liability is unlimited and is liable for the losses of the business. Next one is called as the partner in profits. So the name itself indicates the partner can become the partner for sharing the profits only. He contributes the capital and is also liable to the third parties, like other partners. Next one is partner by estoppel. So what does it mean here? When a partner is not a partner, but possesses himself as a partner, either by words or in writing or by his activities, that person is called as partner by estoppel. Next one is partner by holding out. So what does it mean here? This partner shall be liable to the outsiders who deal with the firm on the presumption of that person being a partner in the business, even though he is not a partner and does not contribute anything to the business. That person is called as a partner by holding out. The last one is called as minor as a partner. Minor means less than 18 years of age. So a minor is a person who has not attained the age of majority. Majority means here 18 years of age can be treated as a minor. So you may get a doubt that can a minor be can enter into the contract. Please unmute yourself. All of you, please unmute yourself. A minor cannot enter into the contract according to the Indian Contract Act. But for the benefits of the existing partnership, that minor can be allowed into the partnership business. So then the minor is not personally liable for all the liabilities of the firm, but his share in the partnership property and profits of the firm will be liable for the debts of the business. So that partner is called as the minor as a partner. So these are the different types of the partner. Now the next topic is partnership deed. It's also called as partnership agreement. So now here, if you see here, already I told you that if the partners are formed together and if they have mutual understanding, it's well and good. But nowadays here, you could find the partners are different from one person to the other person, or one person is different to the other person. So sometimes in the partnership, what will happen here, there will be some collective or separate responsibility of the partners. The act of the partners in the usual course of business bind the firm also. So if the partners work with understanding and cooperation, then the partnership will run very smoothly. But if there is a suspicion among them, then obviously conflicts occurs among the partners. So, and finally, if there are any disputes or if there are any conflicts, if there is misunderstanding among all the partners, then the partnership business cannot run smoothly. So that is why here, for that purpose, if you want to minimize these disputes here, there should be one agreement made between the partners that is called as partnership deed. It is also called as partnership agreement. So what is this partnership agreement or deed? It forms the basis of partnership. It includes all important clauses like the names of the business, contribution of capital, sharing of profits, mode of mode of management, etc. So what does it includes? So the full pro forma of this partnership deed, you can click onto the Google and see how this deed will be made among the partners, the pro forma of that. But Indian Partnership Act 1932 has made some clauses in the form of some paragraphs. It has been mentioned. So these are the important contents of this partnership deed. This is very important question. So very important topic that every partnership business has to maintain. That agreement has to be made between the partners. So what is this? What are those clauses that are mentioned in the agreement or deed? First, they have to tell about the nature of their business, the duration of their partnership, the name of the firm, capital, share of partners in profits and losses, bank account firm, books of accounts, and the powers, rights, and liabilities of the partners, retirement of the partners, and the death and dissolution and the settlement of accounts of the partners. So thus we can say that here, so these are the differences between the sole proprietor and the partnership business. And with that, we can say that here. So this slide will give you the complete difference between the sole trading or the sole proprietary concern and the partnership concern, in that the middle one describes the common feature. Because of this here, the next form of business organization came. Now let us discuss the next topic, that is the third form of business organization that is recently introduced here, that is called as the LLP, means Limited Liability Partnership. So what do you mean by this here? You can see the combination of this here, how this limited liability partnership business has come into existence. 1 minute. So here in shortcut, if you see the first letters LLP, so it is the partnership business between, you see here, combination of the partnership firm with the private limited company. So if both are combined, that is called as LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. So this was introduced, the Indian government has passed the act to new form of organization, that is on 9th of January 2009, and it was effective, it was notified on 31st March, and it was, the first LLP was registered on April 2nd, 2009. So, again I repeat, it's a combination of both the partnership firm and the private company, and that is called as LLP. It does not define the limited liability partnership. So, in simple words, what does it mean here? It means that here LLP is nothing but, it is a legal business entity partnership where the LLP is responsible for the debts of the business. Okay. So now here, these are the features of this LLP, limited liability of the partners, flexible form of business organization, administration according to agreement, required to register with the Register of Companies, and LLP agreement has to be maintained, perpetual succession, separate legal entity, etc. And the next form of organization is cooperative societies. The name itself indicates cooperation. So here, these cooperative societies are defined as the autonomous association of the persons united voluntarily to meet their common economic, social, and cultural needs and aspirations through a jointly owned and democratically controlled enterprise. So how this formation of this cooperative societies has, that means according to the Cooperative Societies Act 1912, the members can become the members. The minimum is 10%, at least 10 persons have the capacity to enter into the contract, and finally they can form into the cooperative society under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. There are different types of cooperative societies: consumer cooperatives, producer cooperatives, cooperative marketing society, cooperative credit society, farming society, and housing cooperative societies. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so with this we completed the block number 2. So in the next class, I'm going to discuss the block number 3, that is the continuation for the forms of business organization. Any doubts? Okay. Thank you for joining the class. Have a great day. Good day, all of you. Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
ఏంటి ఇవే మొత్తమా అంతేనా ఇచ్చిలే ఓకే
Yes, who is that?
Yes, Swati, I'm also one of the student of Ambedkar University. From where you are getting this link? Hello.
ఆపండి చోదాపురి
Swati.
కెమెరా ఆఫ్ చేసుకోర్రి లీవ్ మీటింగ్ చేసుకోర్రి
వచ్చిందా మీకు? వచ్చిందా? ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పట్లే మేము. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పట్లే. ఉన్నా. కొట్టిన కానీ నా ఫేస్ కనిపించదు. నా ఫేస్ కనిపించదు. దుర్గాప్రసాద్ కదా? వచ్చింది కానీ ఫేస్ కనిపించట్లే. అదే ఇప్పుడు కనిపించింది. క్లాస్ అయితే అవ్వట్లేదు. అయిపోయింది 11:30 ఒకటి. నేను పెట్టలేగా. అదు వద్దు. నేను యూట్యూబ్ చూసుకుంటా. బాయ్. ఆమె క్లాస్ అయితే అంతా అందులో కూడా కనిపించే ఇంట్లో ఒక్కటే కనిపిస్తుంది. క్లాస్ అయితేలేగా బాయ్.